And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a short time ago, this crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with the Buffalo Bills. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line.
Number 36, on return.
Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right. Move.
Lucky 48.
Three down.
Hey, 382. Liz 50.
Here we go. I got 8.
And it's a welcome back to health for last year's number 1 pick. This is Dalvin Cook, and he'll get this one up to the 26. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. 2nd down, Cousins. Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
Yellow, ready, send there. Yellow.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so, and gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Cousins to his tight end, Rudolph, for a Viking first down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches, so as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Steps away. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And the Bills have recovered.
Well, we may not see it behind the big play sheet that they like to use, but I'll bet there's a big grin on the defensive coordinator's face. A corner blitz, what we often call a cat blitz. Usually they disguise it, Brandon. You're up on a receiver. It looks like you're going to bump and run with him, press coverage, and then he just takes off straight for the quarterback, and someone comes behind him to pick up the receiver.
And as a former member of the secondary, it makes you happy too, doesn't it?
I can't lie about it. I've got a big grin on my face, too. That was a heck of a play, a heck of a call.
On 2nd down, it's McCoy. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Detroit!
From the gun, it's Allen. Steps away to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first.
Check. Patriot!
Now a first down carry here for McCoy. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 11 yards and a Buffalo first down. Charles, I think sometimes maybe we take LaShawn McCoy for granted. Been in the league since 2009. He's played 12 or more games every season as a running back. 30 years old this year. What do you see for his future?
I still see a very bright future for him, and you're exactly right. We do kind of take him for granted. Remember, he was with Philadelphia. Then he goes to Buffalo. Buffalo goes through the playoff drought before last season.
And pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Daniil Hunter. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Throwing now is Allen. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Throw left side complete. That's McKenzie. They do get 18, but even that won't be quite enough. It's 4th down. Field goal forthcoming for Stephen Hauschka. From the left hash, it's a 42-yard attempt. And Hauschka's kick is good. And the Bills will take a 3-0 lead. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt they were in striking distance.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Teron Johnson able to pick it, and he'll take this down inside the 15-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Chris Ivory, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Hauschka with the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. Here's Hauschka now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves.
And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Hey, steamer.
Now a second down throw for Cousins. And this will be incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Yellow.
3rd and long for Cousins. Lets it fly for Thielen. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. He's picked off near his own 48, and they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. So after the INT, it's Allen. He finds Malcolm Mitchell here. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Throwing on first down is Allen. He'll get this one complete to Zay Jones. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Only a gain of a yard there, but it indeed gets them a new set of downs.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are. Stay with who you know. and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
You got 4.
They'll pitch it out to McCoy. And a short gain here down to the 22. Give the tackle there to Daniil Hunter.
Detroit!
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So 2 first-quarter field goal attempts for him, and he's converted on both.
I like the positive right there. 2 for 2, got the points on the board. The negative side is they didn't score touchdowns. And, of course, going forward in this game, that's going to be the aim. And hopefully he'll be kicking extra points instead.
Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me.
And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Picked off by Micah Hyde. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. The 20. Oh, and the big play's going to get even bigger as penalty flags are down, and I believe they're going to get a face mask penalty tacked on. And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Bills in possession. Suddenly, it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. Now McCoy, and he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. Looking at this now, you got a couple more cracks here this close. Sneak it.
I don't think you even go into a huddle. Just line up.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Jaleel Johnson able to drop him for a loss of a couple.
When you're this close to the goal line, you've got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
Here's McCoy, and he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
This drive started with 1st and goal. Now that it's 4th and goal, anything less than a touchdown would feel like a letdown to me.
The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of it.
Now a hit and a loose football. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And just shedding. And this is going to be brought back for a Bills touchdown. So they get the 1-score kickoff, get a fumble, take it right back to the house. 2 quick touchdowns within a matter of about 10 seconds on the game clock.
It's like a big 1-2 punch that may lead to a knockout.
Hauschka adds the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. And out now come the Vikings. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. To throw, Cousins. Throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. And he'll be out right at the 35. They'll get 11, but still a little short. Fourth down.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
Running for it. Here's Cook. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th. They go play action here on first down. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Trent Murphy in there to bury him for a loss of 11. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Now Cousins. And he's going to go down again.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. Being chased out left. Gonna let it fly for Rudolph. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now Allen throwing on 2nd down. He's got a man complete. It's Clay. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down.
Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right.
All right, here we go. Green 39! Green 39!
On first down, Allen. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks.
We've already seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Here we go now. 3-19! 3-19!
Throwing again. Allen. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's McCoy. 10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo first down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
His throw incomplete. Malcolm Mitchell out of the University of Georgia was the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, And not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. The Bills on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. On play action, Allen. It's caught. Jones. And he's taken down inside the 30. The Bills passing game getting him down the field. They've got another first down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. Throw left side complete. That's McKenzie. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Bills add on.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field, and that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control, and how about the end result? A touchdown.
That's fielded in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line.
What's tight?
Black, black.
What's tight? Tight ends right.
Yellow, yellow, yellow. Yellow. Oh, God.
Cousins now to throw on first down. And Cook has it, left side. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. Now a play fake here on first down. And Rudolph has it left side. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver, because you got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football, because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone, sometimes you're throwing it between the zone, sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 5 yards on the pickup, and it's a second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. And it's a terrific return here as he's going to have him set up with a 1st and goal right at about the 6-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
Here's Allen to throw it. Flushed out right. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Forced out to his left. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. The Bills on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here.
4 down.
So the shotgun snap to Allen, and that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And Hauschka's kick is good. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. They start the drive with Cook. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Out come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Everson Griffin in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
Detroit! Gone!
On 3rd and long, it's Allen. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Everson Griffin in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 23. And that negates a pretty decent punt return.
And the goal is to gain a first down on a punt return, which is 10 yards. This was much more than that, but it is going to come back due to the illegal block in the back.
Jahan! Andy! Wide!
Got 4 down.
Yellow!
Check.
Yellow! Rhino!
A first down throw for Cousins. Flush to his right. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Let's go.
Tight end, watch tight end. Tight right.
Cousins now on 2nd down. Throw left side on target to Thielen. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 19 yards that time for number 19. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Play action now. Cousins finding his safety valve here. That's complete. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
3rd and short yardage. Cousins buying time to his left. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And the Bills have recovered.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation. would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
The Bills on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it with McCoy. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs.
So right after the defense gets you the ball on a takeaway on a fumble recovery of their own, you've got to reward them, don't you? You've got to stay out on the field, give them a chance to rest, and how about doing it the way they did it, running the football and picking it up on third down.
Yeah, would not have wanted to go 3 and out. They avoid that right there.
Yeah, they avoided the glares as they went back to the bench, didn't they?
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Philly, here we go. Back 99 Philly, here we go.
Allen off the play fake. And Jones has it over the middle. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. He got 29 yards that time.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he fights his way into the end zone for a Bills touchdown. LaShawn McCoy, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bills continue to pour it on. Hauschka with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Here's Hauschka now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. What's that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. Sheds off the tackle. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. A good pickup there, a 22. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Two.
Tight end right. 3 down.
2nd down, Cousins. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
And that is incomplete. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
from midfield. Here's Allen. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Allen hit. He lost the football. And this belongs to the Vikings.
Well, that's a down and distance coaches always talk about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him. Sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did, yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
Now Cook down to the 25. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get out.
Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Lorenzo Alexander in there to bury him for a loss of 11. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. The Vikings on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18.
Hey!
The hug! 180! Zebra!
Check!
Blitz 50!
Throwing his Cousins. That's caught by Treadwell. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Black play.
Hey, watch it.
The hunt. 180.
From the gun, here's Cousins. And Rudolph has got it. The big tight end for a Viking touchdown. Kyle Rudolph, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Vikings are able to get a score back. Oh, this is blocked. But he doesn't get far. They're able to stop him. And after all that, the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
So even when they get a touchdown in this game, which hasn't really been a stellar contest for them, they can't even cap it off and kick the extra point.
Yeah, just not a whole lot going right for them in this game.
I know that when they get into film, this is going to be Exhibit A about how this game went for this team. Oh, we finally score. Can't even kick the extra point.
Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense. This ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But, yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is. I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to have to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they've put it all together. And I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team.
Double tight. Hey, guys, check me out. We got 3 down.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Hey, boys, we got 4 down. 54's Mike.
Allen now on 1st down. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell and just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bills offense coming out, ready to take over. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out, and no one wants to go back to those memories. But, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right?
Yes,
as the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles. Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first one and blew out the Seahawks.
A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
This one away by the punter, Dar. This is taken at about the 14. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Black.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Lorenzo Alexander in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Now they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. To throw, Cousins. Dancing to his left. Now he's going to throw deep back over the middle. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield.
Black.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
Black.
3rd and long for Cousins. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Another wayward pass. Things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Look at this spin.
Balance.
A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 44. They'll start on the ground with McCoy. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a 1st down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 11 yards and a Buffalo 1st down.
They don't want it, fellas. They don't.
Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this.
Let's get it.
No sign of a slowdown from McCoy in his age 30 season. This is 1st and 10.
Hey, 4 down.
They go now to McCoy. He's seen a ton of action this afternoon. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bill shaken up on the play. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Allen. Over the middle, the catch made by Mitchell. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know that playing people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. Now the Vikings now heading onto the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Now Cousins steps away to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Jerry Hughes in there with pressure yet again. And that's the 7th time they've dropped him here this afternoon. So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. Working out of the gun, Cousins. He's going to let it fly. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves.
And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. Jerry Hughes in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Black.
Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. Now a desperation throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 30. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. They go play action here on 1st down. Looking for his tight end, Clay, and it's intercepted. Then it's Clinton Dix with a pick. And he'll take this down inside the 15-yard line. Trying to get it to Clay that time. Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the 4th quarter, trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. The only people who are really happy about those picks, any fantasy team that has this defense.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
So Allen's going to look to throw. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Everson Griffin able to disrupt yet another pass play, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down.
Hurry up, here we go.
Play action. Now it's Allen. Going for the deep ball. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way up to the 49.
Nice hit, boy.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Buffalo, they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to Lambeau to take on the Packers. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, the early struggles continue as they'll sink